You've probably said all the right things, compliments, attention, kindness, and still she drifted away. Not because of what you said, but because of how you said it. See, when your words come from need, from fear, from the pressure to impress, she doesn't hear what you're saying. She feels your energy, but when you speak from presence, from clarity, from a place where you're not chasing but simply expressing truth, everything shifts. This isn't about pickup lines. It's about speaking like a man who doesn't need approval because he already knows who he is. And today, I'm going to give you 4 sentences, short, direct, but when spoken with real presence, they leave an emotional fingerprint. Something rare, something unforgettable. You don't need to speak more, you just need to speak right. Every man has done this at some point. You meet someone, she smiles. The energy is open. So you start talking, maybe too much. You compliment her. You show interest. You try to prove you're different. And yet, nothing sticks. She thanks you. Maybe she smiles. And then slowly she checks out. Why? Because the words were right, but the energy behind them wasn't. This is what most men never realize. You can say the exact same sentence, and depending on where it comes from, it either attracts or repels. When you speak from pressure, from insecurity, from the silent hope that she'll choose you, your words lose weight. But when you speak from grounded calm, when you're not seeking her reaction but simply revealing how you see, you activate something else entirely. She leans in, she remembers, she feels something rare. Let me give you a phrase. It's simple, subtle, and when delivered from presence, it shifts everything. You have a unique way about you. I like that. Now, most guys rush past this moment. They'll say, "You look amazing tonight. You're really pretty. You have a great smile." And while those might seem like compliments, they're not felt because they don't reflect observation. They reflect desire. This sentence, "You have a unique way about you," is different. It doesn't chase. It doesn't flatter. It notices. It makes her wonder. What did he see? Was it the way I said that? My laugh? The way I think? Now her mind is scanning. Her emotions are engaged. And you didn't have to explain a thing. The key here isn't the sentence itself. It's when you use it and how you deliver it, not when she expects it, not when you're trying to impress, but when she does something real. She shares a personal memory. She shows enthusiasm for something she cares about. She laughs in a way that isn't filtered. That's the moment. You pause, let it breathe. Hold her gaze, not as a tactic, but as a presence. And then you say it. You have a unique way about you. I like that. Say it slow. Say it calm. Like you're not trying to win anything. You're just noticing something real. This is not a compliment. It's a mirror, and that's what no one gives her. She gets attention, she gets approval, but rarely she gets seen. You do that once, and she'll remember you. Not because you said something clever, but because you made her feel what most. Men are too noisy, too needy, or too distracted to create significance. Most men don't realize they're chasing. They're being polite, agreeable, nice, But underneath it all, they're waiting for approval, waiting for her to smile, waiting for her to give permission to be bold, waiting to be chosen. And that energy, it's heavy, predictable, easy to sense. Here's what makes the difference between the man who attracts and the man who fades out standards, not just internal ones, but spoken ones. That's why this sentence hits harder than any compliment. I like women who know what they want. It sounds soft. It's not. It's a shift in posture. It tells her, I'm not here trying to win you. I'm here observing if you are what I value. This flips the script completely, because now you're not performing. You're filtering. You're not proving your worth. You're showing your clarity. This is powerful because most men don't have the courage to declare what they're drawn to. They'll say, I don't really have a type. Just someone nice, or worse, whatever makes her happy. And what happens? She loses interest, because there's nothing to respond to, no weight, no frame, no polarity. But when she's expressing something bold, maybe she orders with confidence, maybe she shares her ambitions without hesitation, or takes the lead in a decision, that's when you say it. Steady, without apology, without follow-up. I like women who know what they want. You're not testing her, you're revealing you. You're drawing a quiet line in the sand. Now her mind activates. Do I seem confident to him? Do I know what I want? Am I meeting his standard? That internal reflection creates tension, and tension, when framed in clarity, becomes magnetism. Here's why this is stoic in nature. You're not attached to her response. You're not inflating your ego. You're expressing preference without expectation. That is power, and it only works when it's real. If you say this and then chase indecisive behavior, your words collapse. They become noise. But if you say it and then calmly hold your frame, she feels the boundary. She feels the respect. She feels the gravity of a man who knows what moves him and doesn't bend for convenience. That's rare. Most men orbit around attraction. The few who express standards create it. This sentence doesn't make you harder to reach. It makes you more worth reaching. Say it, mean it, and let the silence that follows carry its weight. Most compliments are like sugar, sweet, but they don't last. You're beautiful. You look amazing. Wow, that smile. They hit the surface and vanish. Why? Because they're obvious. Every man sees what's on the outside. It takes no effort, no awareness, but what leaves a mark, what makes her pause, is being seen for something deeper. Here's the phrase that does exactly that. That's what I like most about you. Not said to flatter, said to reveal, when she's speaking from the heart, when she's lighting up about her purpose, or showing quiet courage in her story, or revealing something vulnerable. That's when you pause. You lean in, and with grounded calm, you say, that. Right there, that's what I like most about you. You're not listing qualities. You're holding up a mirror to the essence, and this hits because it's rare. Seneca once said, we are not given a short life, but we make it short by wasting it. Apply that here. Most men waste moments. They talk through the silence. They fill space with validation, but they never stop. Observe. Feel, recognize. A stoic man doesn't speak to decorate the moment. He speaks to define it. That's what this sentence does. It defines something invisible that just became visible. And here's the shift. It's not about being clever. It's about being present enough to notice what others miss. Imagine she's describing how she helped someone, not for attention, but because that's who she is. Or maybe she shares a moment from her past that shaped her. Or she laughs in a way that's unfiltered and real. That's when you look at her with calm appreciation, not performance, not seduction, just stillness, and you say, "That is what I like most about you." Then let the silence breathe. Don't follow it with a joke, don't explain, let her feel it. That moment becomes an emotional anchor, not because you impressed her, but because you saw her. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. This is what being one looks like. You witness, you reflect, and you speak with clarity, no more, no less." Most men stay on the surface because they're afraid to feel. But the man who sees beneath it makes her feel safe to show more. That's what creates real connection, not attention. Recognition. This phrase isn't a technique. It's a reflection of your presence. Use it with intention. Use it when it's true. Because when you do, she'll remember how you made her feel, not just in that moment, but long after it passes. There's a moment in every interaction when the dynamic shifts. She flirts, she tests, she shows confidence, maybe even control. Most men lean in. They try harder. They laugh a little too fast, say yes a little too quickly. Why? Because they think if they resist, they'll lose her. But here's the truth. The man who can resist is the one she respects. Here's the sentence that draws that invisible line. Without force, without arrogance, I'm not that easy. Now read that again. This isn't a joke. This isn't a defense. It's not about being cold. It's about having value and guarding it. Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." The modern translation, "The man who chases every bit of attention is already bankrupt, but the man who chooses, who filters, who stands calm while others react, that man has gravity." So when she teases you, when she expects you to melt under charm or beauty, you don't react, you smile, maybe tilt your head and say slowly, "I'm not that easy." Then pause. Let the silence hold. Let her feel the unexpected shift. This doesn't create rejection. It creates respect. She starts to wonder, wait, he's different. Why isn't he reacting like the others? What would it take to earn his attention? And here's the subtle beauty. You didn't criticize. You didn't resist her charm. You simply didn't surrender to it. And in doing that, you become the one who's remembered, because you acted from self-respect, not fear of losing connection. Epictetus taught no man is free who is not master of himself. When you say, "I'm not that easy," you're claiming that mastery. You're showing that your attention, your presence, your intimacy, they're not given away. They're chosen. This is what breaks the cycle of desperation. You stop auditioning. You stop adapting. You stand. This sentence only works when it's real. If you say it and then follow her around emotionally, you've betrayed yourself. But if you live it, if you really aren't that easy, you'll see how fast the dynamic changes, because it's rare. And in a world flooded with men who chase, perform, and plead, the one who doesn't becomes unforgettable. Let's be clear. None of these sentences are magic. They're not tactics. They're reflections of presence, of clarity, of self-respect. And when spoken from that place, they cut through noise, they land deeper, they echo. You have a unique way about you, not a compliment, a mirror. I like women who know what they want, not validation, a standard. That's what I like most about you. Not flattery, recognition. I'm not that easy. Not rejection, self-control. These aren't phrases to get her, they're reminders to be you. The version of you that speaks from truth, not need, from strength, not performance. So here's your challenge. In your next real conversation, don't speak to impress, don't fill the space, wait for the moment, and speak from your center. Let your tone be calm. Let your silence carry weight. Let her feel your intention, not your hunger. And if this gave you clarity, if something in you woke up, don't let it fade. Like, subscribe. Share this with someone who needs it. This is more than conversation. It's presence. It's standard. It's the kind of voice that doesn't ask for attention. It earns respect through silence and truth. Speak less, mean more, and let the world feel the difference.